the features and everything that come with it and how it feels in your hand, I cannot say that about every other camera. I mean, like, this thing feels solid. It feels good. It's got a real nice grip on it. I barely use it like this, as you see it, without a cage. I always use this cage back here, and that's because I always usually mount the Ninja 5 on top of it. But for now, as it is, actually, let's get into it. So when the Nikon Z6 arrived on the market, it arrived with all the bells and whistles that every other camera would have wanted at the time. Now, it was kind of ahead of its time to what everyone has been offering. Maybe some of the other camera systems had better focusing, better lenses and everything, but the Nikon Z6 by far came out with something that the other ones weren't, and thus it has set a tone for that. It came out with full frame capabilities to record 4K and 1080 without a problem using the whole frame of the system. Secondly, it arrived with this adapter, the F2z, so you can use all legacy lenses that the FX system was using before. At the time when the Nikon Z6 came out, it did not have many lenses at all, and still kind of lacking, but it's getting there slowly. But I'm pretty sure it will get there soon. Finally, ProRes RAW was a feature that was added that slowly came to fruition, but it is there now, and most likely will be fully available and accessible to everyone by the end of this month perhaps, or maybe early next month in May, because it will be natively available in Premiere. Having full frame capabilities in the Nikon Z6 are a huge benefit to this camera system. First of all, when you're shooting full frame, that means you can be as wide as is being advertised on the focal length lens that you're using. On all other systems, they all use a crop sensor view, meaning that if you, let's say you're buying a 20mm lens and it's cropped by 1.5, it turns to a 30. If it's a 1.8, maybe it turns to a 35 or something like that. So since this sensor only uses a 1.5 crop sensor mode, then I know that at 20 it turns into a 30. You can always zoom in post. If your base timeline is 1080 and you're shooting in 4K, you can always zoom in and get the resolution you want, but you can never zoom out. And that's the benefit of having full frame, that you get to shoot what the full focal length is being advertised at. So let's say you're shooting at 16, you have that. You want to shoot in tighter, that 16 will turn into a 24, and then you have that tight aspect, right? But you're shooting at 4K now, so now you even have further reach inwards. And that's the benefit of having that full frame that I'm repeating myself at again. But it is such a great feature that you're missing out if you're not getting it. And the Nikon Z6, at that, it just surpasses all other cameras. Now let's talk about the F2z adapter. This adapter was a game changer for the Nikon Z6. It would allow you to use legacy lenses. Having the ability to use those older lenses are a huge benefit for me specifically, because I have lenses here that I use, which I really have a strong attachment to because they work. If they didn't work, maybe I would move to the newer line of lenses, but I'm looking for towards the newer line of lenses in the near future, and mostly to the higher aperture lenses that are coming out, which are maybe like a 1.2 or so. So when those come out, I'm pretty much sure I will be going in that direction. But for now, having this thing, and for you, if you're having older lens, or if you think you want to move into this system, but you can't really afford all the newer lenses because they're kind of pricey, if you get this, you can get any lens you want in the legacy format, which are the FX, and all of them, regardless of which ones they are, they're usually under $1,000 if you look in the right places. And finally, ProRes RAW is now available on the Nikon Z6, yet it is not available to develop. By that I mean it's not supported by Premiere, nor it is supported quite well in Final Cut Pro. It's kind of lacking all around. Just recently though, Premiere Beta has made it available for you to work ProRes RAW. It is not still up to par of something I like, but let me show you here, just in case you guys have missed it. There's Premiere Beta right there. Premiere Beta is the only software that supports ProRes RAW in Windows. And that's also with the added benefit and help from Apple that gives it the codecs that you have to download at the same time for it to work. It is not broadly available to everybody. It's just available to certain people or people that request it. So I requested access and they gave it to me, and that's why I have access to the beta version. Is this a pro or a con? Well, it all depends. It is a pro if it is something that you really know how to use or you require in your work, then yes, this would work perfect. The only problem with it for me right now is that I don't know how to use it that well. I think about it more like a slide room. So I can't get away from what I think about what RAW should be. like I do in Lightroom. So in Lightroom, I have so many various adjustments, and I'm hoping to see something in that direction from Adobe to take Premiere in that direction. Thus far, I can't say that it is. No other system is giving you that aspect. Even if they're giving you RAW, the files in RAW are huge when it comes to RAW files in other systems. ProRes RAW, though, on the other hand, they're very manageable. They're not that much bigger than Nlog or 10-bit in your system. They are larger, but they're not that much larger. So that's an added benefit. That's ProRes RAW on the Nikon. So my final thoughts on this camera are very straightforward and very simple. And as you guys may have already concluded by this, is that I love this system. This is the camera we always wanted. I like the way it feels. I like what it can do. I like how it performs. And although there's the focus system, which I didn't touch upon, and it's because it's only a tweak away from being perfect. Right now with the newer firmware 3.0, it's almost there. It keeps up with me quite well. So my thoughts after 10 months, yeah, the right choice for the right price. I really wish I knew how to use ProRes RAW a lot better, but overall, I gotta say, this camera, it is for me. And if it's not for you, then you're not really giving it a shot, because I really think it's got all the bells and whistles required for you to move forward from now on. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.